You don't always want us to laugh, even though it could be funny.
Of course not.
Exactly.
Of course not. I want you to feel uncomfortable.
Allons, ça va, rentrez ou sortez, monsieur, mais laissez pas la porte ouverte. C'est insupportable.
Elle a toujours chanté comme ça?
Ah non, elle a beaucoup progressé.
Let's start with sort of an obvious question. Is Marguerite crazy?
You're the first person to ask me that so simply. I don't want to make an automatic answer. Let me think one second about it. Is Marguerite crazy? No. I think that she's the only one in the film that's not crazy. All the people around her are crazy because they are liars. And she's deeply honest. So she's not crazy. I love this woman, Marguerite, you know, I love this character. You know, she's inspired by someone who really existed, you know, Florence Jenkins, you know, she was this singer, you know. You can hear her on the internet, you know, and immediately you can feel why I wanted to tell this story, because when you hear Florence Jenkins singing Mozart, you know, like if she was strangling a peroque, you know, it's very funny. So, but it's very emotional too, because you can feel that there is something torn in her voice and in her heart. So that's the whole story of cinema. It is that I want to communicate a human experience of what is to be a human being, and it's more interesting when it is such a crazy story as this one.
Vous pensez qu'elle sait pas qu'elle chante complètement faux?
Faux, mais sublimement faux. Divinement faux.
Je vais organiser un vrai concert, Georges, devant un vrai public.
Comment ça, un vrai concert?
Je travaille depuis des années, mon chéri. Je vais trouver un vrai professeur.
Non, c'est très intéressant. C'est très personnel.
Merci.
The level of her singing bad, was that difficult to decide how bad she would sing?
All the problem was that, of course, it's the story of a very false opera singer. And I did not want the audience to be tired after the first, you know, opera lead. You know, I want... So to find the right balance of ridicule and of emotional was the whole story of my work about the voice. So it was difficult to find, but I hope we found it, you know.
But the level of humor and tragedy, which is in all of the film, you also felt it in the voice?
Of course.
Can you explain? Because I don't really understand.
Because I think that the first time you heard, the first time in the film when she's singing Mozart, you know, you are just laughing.
You're even better
than she is. And you are embarrassed, you know, because it's so crazy, you know. Nobody has ever filmed that, you know, on the shooting. I was saying him, what the fuck, you know, how the audience will respond to this crazy idea of a false singer, you know. But at the end in the film, when she's singing Casta Diva, for example, on stage, she's still funny, but suddenly the audience knows that in the out of tune, there is something deeply human.
Il ne faut pas qu'elle monte sur une vraie scène. Qu'est-ce qui va se passer quand elle va comprendre?
Mais de quoi avez-vous peur exactement?
C'est pour vous que j'ai peur, figurez-vous. Tout le temps.
Vous voulez savoir la vérité? La vérité vraie? Ce que personne n'ose vous dire.
This film is deeply personal for me. You know, it's a very autobiographic film. You know, I'm writing my own film. You know, and there is something very sincere for me in all these characters. You know, and in Marguerite, of course, you know, I'm such stupid as her by moments. You know, because I don't feel that the people in front of me are terrible people and they are lying. You know, and so I got something, you know, of Marguerite about the surprise when people are violent and this kind of thing, you know, and maybe there is something. It is that I'm obsessed to look for the beauty in my films, but I am only the artist I am.